Hey, beautiful people. Well, some of y'all ain't beautiful on the inside, but we're here to work on that, okay? I'm Jordan Micaiah, and this show was created because some things just need to be talked about. We live in a world where it's all about me, myself, and I, and the other experiences that have contributed to our reality. The truth is, much of the way we view life is from a small, narrow lens. Hence, tunnel vision. That's where I come in. Through my own personal experiences and sometimes some help from some pretty amazing guests, I hope to challenge you, inspire you, and open your eyes a little. In reality, there's so much more to life than the eye can see, and I think I'm here to help you grow. So take this journey with me and allow me to help you widen your tunnel vision in order to live a better life. Here is Reality Tunnel Vision. Wow, we are back with the second episode of season 2. And it seems like a small victory, and you're probably like, okay, girl, it's only the second episode. Why are you so excited? It's because I've been talking about being consistent for a very long time, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing the fruits of my consistency. So I'm going to pat myself on the back if nobody does, okay? But we're here, y'all. We've made it, and honestly, this wouldn't be possible if it didn't start off as a dream. If it didn't start off as one day me just sitting back and being like, what am I doing with these dreams that I have? I used to pride myself on being able to be a visionary and see the future, basically. See myself walk in doors that it doesn't look like I'll ever be able to walk in, but still be there. But what was I doing with that? And reality tunnel vision was birthed, and so many other things in the future is going to be birthed from it. But this episode is specifically dedicated to those of you who are able to dream big, who have seen yourself do things that other people may have told you couldn't. The circumstances around you were against you. The odds were not necessarily in your favor. But you're holding on to a dream, and you're excited about that, and you see yourself walking into that. But you sometimes ask the questions, why can't I take that step, that leap? Why can't I put one foot in front of the other and actually jump off the deep end and do the dang thing? Why can't I not? And so this is for you. From my experience, through my ups and downs, the roller coasters that I've gone on, the lessons that I learned, I hope and I pray that this episode really does bless you and give you that extra push that you need to move forward and live your dreams to the fullest. So here we go. Let's dive in. To be honest with you, the reality check that I had to give myself, and the one that I'm giving you today, is sometimes the biggest hindrance to you not living in your wildest dreams is you yourself. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because the world tells us blame everything else outside of us. Blame the people who doubted you, blame your upbringing, not have enough resources, make yourself the victim in the situation. The truth is, we have to take accountability for our own lives and understand that if you have a dream, that is evidence that the things around you aren't enough to stop you. If you've seen it, that is evidence that it can possibly come true. But from what I've learned in my experiences, I've learned that I'm not God, first of all. And so even though it's cool that I dream, even though it's cool that I'm able to see myself as greater than I am now, or on a bigger platform than I have now, I'm not the one who's in control of how I get there, or what comes in my way, the obstacles that come, or the doubts, or even the impatience sometimes. I have the dream, but I'm not the one who is there in the future already. The only being that is there is God. And so I had to learn to trust him on that. But I want to speak specifically to people who honestly have been holding on to something for a very long time and feel stuck. or you thought you would be somewhere and you find yourself not in that position yet, and things just don't seem to be working out. I'll tell you a quick story. So when I was in my senior year of high school going into college, I competed for Miss South Carolina. And that's the pageant that's right before Miss America. And I promise y'all, on everything, it might seem crazy, pageant girls, but I literally had dreams. I saw myself with a crown on my head. I saw the people putting a crown on my head. I could actually feel the feeling. I cried about it, and it seems crazy, but I was in the moment. And it wasn't because that was something that I just wanted so bad and I knew that I had done everything to get there, but I actually just saw the end result, and I literally saw that crown on my head. And so I wanted it with everything in me. And I just knew I was going to get it. And when I got there, I didn't even make top 15. I had raised so much money. God had opened up so many doors, gave me so many resources to get there. I had a huge following, support system. I had more than enough money to go from raising all those monies and people opening up their hearts and being generous and giving to me. Everything looked like I was supposed to win that. And when I didn't, it really hit me hard, not because I had lost, because you lose in life. It hit me hard because I actually saw myself winning. I saw it, I felt it, I was in that moment in my head. And God had to show me months after that me seeing that crown on my head was not in vain. I literally saw the crown on my head, and I needed to see that crown because every other situation that I've gone through in life was meant to take me down so bad that I didn't see myself as royalty, that I saw myself as less than. And if I did not ever see that crown placed on my head, I would really, truly stay at the bottom in places where I've never been so low in my life. I remembered that I had a crown on my head, not from the world, but from my Heavenly Father. And one thing I can remember from that dream is I don't remember seeing specific faces around me. I don't remember seeing the specific person who placed the crown on my head. It was all a blur. All I saw was me there being crowned. But what that did for me was God had to show me that the crown that is on your head is not given to you by man. It's not given to you by you working hard to get it. The crown that is placed on your head is absolute. But if I was to only limit myself to seeing myself as Miss South Carolina or just another pageant girl, I would have completely missed me seeing myself as royalty in those other situations. I would have stayed at the bottom and been like, man, another failure. I hit rock bottom again. Everything I try, I don't win at. I'm not successful. I would have continued having that same thing go through my mind if I only would have seen it through that lens of what was exactly in front of my face. But sometimes you just got to see things a little bit deeper. Sometimes you can't see things in the natural eye. You have to really see things spiritual and understand that crown that was placed on my head was not by chance. It was not for no reason. It was for a specific purpose, and I needed to see it being placed on my head because it does not matter how many times I lose. I know I'm not done taking L's in life. I know I'm not done leaping and feeling like a little bit discouragement or disappointment. I know I'm only 23. A lot of life is ahead of me. But one thing I will never forget is that a crown was placed on my head and I am royalty. And that's something that it would not have been seen if I didn't take the time to be frustrated with God about it. To be like, but I saw this. I literally saw this. It was in the palm of my hand. I could feel it, taste it, see it, smell it. It was right there. Why am I not there yet? I couldn't have limited my dream based on what I understood. Whew, that's for somebody. I read a scripture not long ago, and I read it differently this time. Do not be conformed to the things of this world, but transformed by the renewing of your mind. And I read that scripture for years before, that's a popular thing. But all of a sudden, this time, it just hit me different. Do not be conformed to the things of this world, but transformed by the renewing of your mind. The world tells you that you're able to write your own story, in the sense of, if you dream it, it can come true and you can make it happen. But if I left everything up to myself, if I put all the cards in my hand and dealt them out, man, my life may be good, but it would not be all that I can experience. So this is why I say that. Sometimes we can dream big and think that, man, I can see myself in so many great places, doing so many great things, making X amount of money, yada, yada. But what if that isn't even enough? I mean, what if even though the biggest dreams that we can ever dream are limited to what God can truly do? Honestly, and I know everybody who listens to this isn't going to be a Christian, but I just have to talk from my own experience, because it's truly changed my life. And so I hope you can still understand where I'm coming from, in the sense of, you yourself and your dreams are not even enough. I wish somebody would have told me to never put a cap, or never put a gauge or a cap on the things that I dream. You know, we live in a world where it's like, you aim high, you aim for a specific goal, and when you get there, you've made it. But life, if you want to be a person who really receives abundance on abundance on abundance, on blessings on blessings on blessings that you never even dreamed of, never put a limit on where you can go or what you can experience. Because there's things in life that I truly want super bad, and I see it big, and I want to get to those places, and I want to experience it, and I can even feel it. But what if there's more? But because I'm aiming at a goal that I've placed, because I'm aiming for a end result that I've created for myself, I'm only going to be comfortable when I get to that. And I'm going to be afraid to leap even there. What if you have to leap at even the highest goal you can imagine? What if you get to a certain place and then you have to leap from there? But you're like, nope, I made it to where I wanted to go. I've done what I wanted to do. There's always more, but you have to dare to be different, and you have to dare not to conform to what the world says success is, or what dreaming big is, or where the end result is, or setting goals. You have to dare to be different, dare to be transformed by the renewing of your mind, telling yourself that it's not enough. I'm opening my life, and me personally, I'm opening my life to God, for him to do anything that I want to do. And I won't even allow myself to get in the way of that. Because it's not always people. It's not always people that are going to be the limitations. It's not always going to be the voices that are self-doubting. It's not always going to be lack of resources. Sometimes it's going to be your own logic. You telling yourself, okay, I've seen a goal and it's obvious that this is how I will get there. So I'm going to go to school for a certain amount of years. I'm going to work at this job to work my way up. I'm gonna become friends with this person so that I can, be in the room with the people. And you've done all of these, and the wheels are turning, and it seems to make perfect sense, but something's missing. The abundance. You're only here. You'll always just be in one little sphere of your own reality. You're never going to be exposed to more. My challenge to you is, when you have a dream, don't always take it for don't always wait for it to make sense to you. Continue walking daily and you'll get there. And you might even find yourself getting to more than you could have ever thought. Because I would much rather Know that I have a crown on my head that's from God that cannot be taken off and not be given to me by a person or by success. I would much rather know that my crown is from God and will never be removed than to have a crown given to me by man that I can say I worked for, that I put myself in the position to win. I presented myself well to them, so they gave me a crown because I was pleasing to them. Is that really a crown? Or is that conforming to what they wanted? I couldn't have limited my dream. And I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I was able to see it deeper. So the question of today is, everybody dreams, but what makes you different? I mean, everybody wants to be successful, but what's going to make you different? Yeah, we can say, oh, it's my work ethic. It's my discipline. It's my resources. It's the people I know. No. What makes a person who experiences abundance different than the average dreamer is what they decide to do with their dreams. Some of you have dreamed of starting a business for a long time. But that's not enough to get you to start. Some of you have dreamed of making a certain amount of money, having a certain job. But okay, a lot of people dream of having that job. A lot of people dream of traveling. A lot of people dream of having multiple streams of income. A lot of people do. But what's going to make you different? Here's the thing about dreaming. Just because you dream doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You literally have an enemy that is after you that wants to kill, steal, and destroy your entire life. So just because you were fortunate enough to have this big, grand idea doesn't mean that the trail and the path is going to be easy for you. You have an enemy out there that does not want anything you have ever thought about to come to pass. Understanding that is what's going to stop you from being flustered anytime things seem a little thrown off, or not to be going super smooth sailing and you're kind of frustrated every time there's a bump in the road. Yeah, now that you understand that you really have an enemy that wants nothing to do with you, that wants you literally gone from this earth, that wants not only you to be destroyed, but your children's children, your generations to come after you to not have anything in this world. Once you understand that, those little bumps in the road won't even faze you anymore. You'll understand why there's obstacles. You'll understand why there's frustrations that you're experiencing, because it's not supposed to be easy for successful people. It's hard work. And not just the nitty gritty, the hands-on work. It's mental hard work. It's telling yourself consistently that you're supposed to be there, that you're going to place one foot in front of the other, that you're not alone, that you did not have that dream for no reason, that you're going to do it, that you have the ability to be even greater than the dream that you have in your mind. It's up to you. It's your responsibility. But that starts with you understanding that you have an enemy that doesn't want those dreams to come true. I also think it's important that you surround yourself with motivating people, because what goes through your ears is very important. We don't understand that we have to protect the things that come in our minds, the things that we feed ourselves, even the self-doubt that people have. Sometimes people will not even speak ill against you, but you just being a fly on the wall in their own lives. Sometimes people won't even be coming against you, but you just being a part of their lives and witnessing them talk about something but not really being about it, or just always being a Debbie Downer or having self-doubt, you even being a witness in that and you being a part of that is not even motivating to you. That's throwing you off. So you have to make the decision of whether you're going to continue being in those positions where you're constantly being fed with negativity, even if it's not on purpose. Either you're going to check it or you're going to continue letting it come inside of you, come inside your mental and throw you off a little bit. You need to protect your peace. You need to protect your dream. And that's the third point. Protect your dream. And you may think, Jordan, how in the world do you protect? You're saying protect your dream, but also not limit your dream. This is what I mean. Protect the very existence of your dreaming. Anything that could throw it off, anything that can distract you, anything that can make you feel like your dream is not significant, you have to protect that, because it has the ability to be so big that it even blows your mind. So you have to protect anything that's interfering with what God has for you. No, you don't have to see it in order for you to protect it. No, you don't have to understand how big that dream is going to come to pass and how grand it's going to be for you to still protect it. You can still protect something that you don't actually see yet. You protect it by honoring yourself. You protect it by choosing to share it with people who are going to give you encouragement and push you and motivate you, and not have to give you self-doubt or a bunch of questions of, well, how you gonna do that? You know what? At the end of the day, you need people around you who gonna say, girl, I don't know how you're gonna do it either, but I know it's gonna get done because I'm willing to walk alongside you with it. People who are I appreciate people who I give an idea to, and then months later they're like, but what about that idea that you had? You still doing that? That's what you need. And even if you don't have that, are you still willing to hold on to your dream? Are you still willing to protect your dreams enough to even pray for the right people to be surrounded by you? How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? We all dream, but sometimes we limit it. We limit that dream ourselves. Y'all, there are people out there who are literally dependent upon our yes. Their freedom is dependent upon our refusal to think small, to just sit stagnant, to not move. I don't know about y'all, but the things that I do now are not just for me. That's going to be for people who come after me, for my children to be taken care of, for their children to be taken care of, for their children. This is not just for me. This is for other people. And if I'm going to be a person who always says and never does, what is that going to do for them? I want to get to a certain point in life where where I'm so at peace with God. I'm so at peace with who I am, who He's created me to be, that I'm not even fearful anymore of where else He can take me. There's so much abundance. We have to have the faith. We have to have the ability to keep going, and the ability to, even if God shows us something, the first thing we should be doing is praying for the discernment to understand what to do with that dream. There's been nights where I've stayed up all night just thinking about these grand ideas that God has given me. Like, man, yes, I'm going to do this. I mean, just writing in my journal. I mean, crying tears on the notebook paper. I mean, actually telling people how big it's going to be. I mean, feeling like I can actually feel myself living out my wildest dreams. But because I was so hasty, because I moved so quickly, or because I tried to do it on my own and I tried to see myself getting there, it just was rushed. I didn't let it come to me with peace. I became anxious about it. I was distracted a lot because the things that came in my life, I was like, no, it has to move. That can't be it, because that doesn't align with my dream. When in reality, God may have shown me something that's going to happen 5 years from now, but I assumed He showed me now, so it has to happen. Sometimes God shows us things so that we can prepare, not so that we can get there tomorrow. And I used to be so mad at God. Well, why would you even show me? Why would you even give me that dream if you didn't want me to start acting on it now? It's not our place. It's not our place to choose the path that we're going to take to get there. It's our place to surrender and be like, you know what? It wasn't my dream to begin with. So it ain't my business to try to make it happen for myself. The only responsibility I can take is being obedient to God, discerning what that dream might have meant, and not limiting what he's shown you. This was for somebody. I hope it encouraged you, but listen, we can experience so much, so very much. And sometimes we can even get in the way of experiencing the best of the best. So start that business. Keep praying those prayers, even though there's doubters that say it might not happen. You still praying? You still waiting on that? Oh, you still talking about that? Yeah, you are. You are, because it's worth it. Because if you dreamed it, it can come to pass. And not just by your standards of coming to pass, it can be abundantly more than you ever ask or think. Listen, I'm telling y'all because I know. I'm speaking from personal experience. Don't limit yourself. Don't allow logic or what makes sense to this world transform your mind. Let faith and abundance and belief and hope in something greater transform your mind. For me personally, that's God. And ever since I surrendered in that way, my life has been A-okay. Not that I have all that I want right now, all that I desire, but I know it's going to come. And I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I know I'm going to be at peace with it because I decided today to protect my dreams. To place them in somebody's hand who's had it all in control from the beginning of time. Why wouldn't I give my dreams to that? Why wouldn't I give my dreams to the most consistent being that there's ever been? Whew. I hope this helped. If you're not, also side note, if you're not a Christian and some things that I'm saying are not making sense and you just have questions, like, I'm always open for that. Please reach out to me, DM me, whatever. But the side that I'm on roots for me, even when I don't root for myself. And so I'm speaking from a place of truly knowing what it feels like to be disappointed, to be told no, to feel rejected. I'm speaking from a place of being really low at times. But because I was able to see deeper than what my natural eyes could see, I'm able to soar now. And I want you to soar. Because you can. And your dreams matter. And the enemy does not want to see you win. But we will, because the side that we're on has already won. And I pray that my kids and their kids and their kids benefit off of my refusal to be limited. Dream again. It's a beautiful thing. But understand that everybody dreams. And what makes you distinct is what you decide to do with those dreams that you have. We got this. I love y'all, beautiful people. And I will see y'all next week. for the third episode of reality television. Make sure you check out the last one. Off to a good start. Y'all are going to wreck me season 2. I feel it. But I love y'all and have an amazing week.